Ahoy friends, welcome to building the Alpha Dory. I'm Dan, and this is a project to build a Chamberlain style racing dory from John Gardner's The Dory book. Illustrations by Sam Manning. Today we'll be out in the shop working on the shaping the transom and hopefully finishing up one of the two rails, trim pieces and whatnot. So yeah, let's get out there and see what we can get done. Alright, so here's the piece we're putting on, and what we'll do is strike a line that is parallel to that piece that's going on, parallel to the edge of that piece, and this is the angle we're going to cut the transom at up to the height of the piece. So that's up to here. And then from there we can decide whether we want to bring it up a little higher. So I'll just continue that line, or whether we want to bring it in and start the curvature of the top of the tombstone and whatnot. So yeah, so that's a decision to make. And then we're going to continue that line to the back at the same height. So because we want this trim piece to slide by and get nailed down on this edge here. So what we really have to do is we have to make this cut here. Which shouldn't be too difficult. And then we can actually put off shaping the transom until we have the piece on, as long as we make this cut. The other angle we need to take into consideration, other than the edge of this trim piece, is the angle of the shear strake coming in, because this trim piece is going to be at that same angle. So when we're sawing, we'll have to line the saw up with the shear strake, which shouldn't be too difficult. I'm wondering if you might get a better angle, better view of the sawing from the other side of the boat. And you probably will. So I'm going to move the camera and be right back. As it turns out, this light is right where my head wants to be, but didn't realize it was this warm out here today. I think part of it is the fact that my head's in this light. Not that fluorescent lights are terribly warm, but there is a little bit of that last bit I just sawed in from the side at the angle that the that the rail is going to be coming in at. Yeah. Well, the other one, it might make sense to break out the power saw and just knock some off the transom. The one thing I don't want to do is just run it across, say here, at a 90-degree to the transom, because the saw will actually cut below the where the back edge of the transom is going to end up. So at least we didn't do that. Oh, alright, well, let's see how the piece fits in there. Pretty good. So we can clean that up a little bit with the chisel, bring that back a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to put that rail cap on. A little bit more on the top here. Okay, and a little bit more on the front edge. Just about perfect right there. Alright, so yeah, this is trim piece is ready to we gotta trim this end of the top plate on the rail, but yeah, trim piece is ready to go on now. So let's trim the top plate and get nailing. Alright, so here is the trim piece, and what we're not going to lay it on kind of at the angle it's going to end up. We're going to lay it on at the angle it's going to start at here. And then slide it down until we get the right width. This will meet up with the curve cut in the top plate. Sort of infinitely adjustable by where you cut it off here, which makes fitting this piece that much easier. Alright, there it goes. Okay. So that will go on there, just like that. And again, we'll glue it from there. I'll go get the glue and grab the nails. We'll get to it. Alright, got some glue on the rail. Got some glue on the trim piece, the bead. So I'm lining up the bead with the edge of the shear plank here. We'll just throw a clamp on that to keep it from moving too much on us. Oops. There it goes. Making sure it's down nice and tight. Yeah, feels good. All right. Now I'll feel to where about there is where the bend starts. So I'm going to put these two in. Now I just start bending the rail onto the boat. Try to keep the glue off my shirt as much as I can. Now as big a deal as it would have been in the olden days, I guess. We pretty much have disposable shirts these days. They're so cheap and plentiful. T-shirts, anyway. But, yeah, let's try and make things last as best we can. Of course, there wouldn't have been any glue involved in the old days anyhow, so it looks like I dropped a nail. Find that later. Not terribly entertaining to watch me looking for a nail anyway. Yeah, this Type Bond 3 is fairly forgiving as far as working time and whatnot. You know, it's not like epoxy where it'll it's hard on you. You do have to get it tightened down before it dries, of course, but as long as you put glue on both sides of the piece you're working on, it should be good. 3 nails. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're good. I'll put this one in next. So the Alpha Dory is a little bit unusual as far as small boats these days go. Most modern racing dinghies are steered or helmed with a tiller, a rudder handle. But the Alpha doesn't have a handle on the rudder. It has a yoke and steering lines. So that means you can sit anywhere in the boat pretty much, as long as the steering lines are long enough to reach. And you can helm the boat from anywhere in the boat, which means you can pretty much infinitely adjust the trim. Now, you don't want to have the steering lines too long; they just become a nuisance because you're not often wanting to steer from, say, ahead of the mast up in the bow. Though you could, and I've tried it on the previous Alpha Dory I had. But I found that having the lines long enough to goof around like that was just a all-around sort of nuisance because there's just so much extra line when you're helming from the normal station, which would be the third frame. But you can helm from the last seat. You can helm from the seat at the back edge of the centerboard trunk, and that allows you to really adjust the weight and also adjust your position, depending on what you want to be doing in the boat. So yeah. Oh yeah, and so the reason why was I saying that? So the pulley, or the line that runs through the pulley to the rudder head, is actually attached back here at the rail, just inside of that beading. So anyway, I guess that's what I was saying that. So, but yeah, all right. So we got a good fit here on the bead, and yeah, when this dries, we'll knock the edge with the plane, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, so she's coming along. We got the other side, the starboard side rails to do, and then it will be onto the centerboard trunk. A massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed, and supported the channel. Yeah, we couldn't do this without you, so thanks much, and look forward to seeing all you good people in the comments section. Until next video, hope you have a great day, and see you next time.